You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together.
Hello, happy Wednesday. So as we spoke about in Monday's podcast, this one's going to be all about like what to do with the kids in the summer holidays. Well, we call it summer holidays. You guys call it what do you call it?
Summer break. I mean,
Summer break.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So yeah, what to do? I mean, the hours are going into the May. Well, hours are in the middle as you're hearing this, in the middle of the May half-term break, which is like a week long. So the stuff we did at the weekend, we went to. There's a place near us called Doncaster Dome, and it's like a indoor slide park type thing. It's just reopened after a refurb. So we went there. I'd like to say we had fun, but obviously we're recording this before we've gone, so I'm going to have to reconstruct how I'm saying that. But that's the fun. The plan is to take them there. On Sunday, we are then having a barbecue with family, which I'm looking forward to because it's the first time in a long time we've done it since the two sisters have kind of made up and are getting along again. So
nice.
That's going to be interesting and fun. And then the week after that, I don't know. It's meant to be. We're meant to have a heat wave in the UK. It's meant to get as high as 32 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
Yeah, which is going to be scotcho. So the idea is to get the paddling pool out. So I need to finish painting the fence. I need to mow the lawn again, and then we're going to get Logan's paddling pool out for him, so he's got somewhere to play and chill out. Which probably means that we're going to spend a lot of time watching Lindsay sunbathe, Logan playing his paddling pool with his friend Arthur, and I will hopefully purchase some lights to put up all the way around the fence. So as it gets dark or an evening, we can sit in the back garden and enjoy it still being a bit like summer evening warm, and have some nice lights and stuff like that. So
nice.
That's the plan for us. And the kids are back at school for 7 weeks, and then they go on their summer holidays. So just as yours, you got a week with just as yours are like in their 6th week off, we start our 7 weeks off.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, and then you must be off for a couple more weeks than we are after that, because
I think they go back on September 2nd.
Okay. I think our kids, I don't really know at the moment. I think they're going to go back mid-August. That's usually when they go back. But I've heard rumors that they're going to be pushed back to late August, which is a thing that that at least our state does. I think it's state by state. But we're like, no, it's going to be after Labor Day. And then we're like, no, we're going to go in the beginning of August. And we go back and forth. We've done this for decades, literal decades. This was a thing that happened when I was in school. So, fun times.
So why is it done like that?
Because different people get into different positions and have different opinions, and they're like, ha, this is how it's going to be. And then somebody else gets into that position, and they're like, no, that's dumb. We're going to do it like this. And so,
fair enough.
Yeah. I wish there was a better answer to that, Sean, but that's the answer. So, anyway, so I always am excited for summer. I enjoy hanging out. Well, I guess two things. One, it's more of a summer like day in and day out is more of like Becca's gig, right? Because I do the school year kind of stuff because she's in school, and so I do pickups, drop offs, and a lot of the tasks. Like I was at field day. We had field day last week, which is kind of like
Is that sports day?
yeah, it's something like that, but it's not like sports. It's like tug of war, egg throw, um, egg toss,
Running.
like a lot of those things, right? Not like
Okay, yeah.
there is like then in the morning there's like a run that they do, but and then I think it closes with the eighth grade versus teachers like kickball game or something. I don't know,
Okay.
something like that. So like I was
So
involved with that. But then when summer hits, Becca's off. I'm a bit more busy, and she kind of like handles the day in and day out of all things. So there is that. I'm a little more hands off in the summer. But things we do quite often. Well, I don't want to say quite often, but at least things we do at least like once a year or once a summer. Backyard campouts. Those are pretty popular. Probably do that twice a summer usually. Once in the beginning, once in the end. Where it's nothing big. We just have a fire, roast some marshmallows, roast some hot dogs, and then we all camp out in the tent. And that's that. The tent is getting a bit small as the kids get larger.
Yep, okay.
And
Well,
I
that
get
kinda
larger.
happens.
So all those things make it difficult.
Time for a new tent this year, then.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably pretty close to that, I would say. Last year was tough
Snug.
for sure. Yeah, it was snug. So, and that's free for the most part, minus whatever food items you're buying, but for the most part, it's free. And then Becca takes them to library stuff all the time. There's like reading challenges, read so many books, you get little plasticky things. Sometimes you get cool things like a Culver's gift card, which is just like a fancy McDonald's over here, or something like that. But yeah. So she'll go to all of them. Like they'll be doing book reading contests or whatever, and then sometimes they get cool little projects. The kids got a battery with some wires, and you like it taught you how to like it was like a coin battery, and it taught you how to like with a little motor, and it taught you how to like set it all up, and you could make the battery walk on, or you could make the toothbrush walk on the table, because the motor would vibrate and stuff like that. And so you get little projects like that, little like birdhouse projects that don't even take tools. So another thing we do at least like once or twice a year, we go creek stomping. Very fun. Grabbing, tadpoles and crayfish and building dams, seeing if you can stop up the water and everything like that. And so that's always that like the kids really, really love that time. So
Yeah.
So there's a couple of good places to do that in and around our area. Yeah, those are like I'm trying to think of like the free things we do.
Yeah.
Those are like the big free things. Bike rides. I'm hoping bike rides will be bigger now. Ariel's a bit older. She has never liked to go very far from the house. She's usually like, which is funny because she's the one that like runs probably 2 to 3 miles like 3 times a week and practices, but for some reason when she gets on a bicycle she's like, I'm tired, my legs hurt. And I'm like, how are you tired?
Yeah.
You have
That
more
won't be the
stamina
same
than
this
all
year.
of us.
That won't be the same this year.
So yeah.
So
I'm hoping that's a little bit better. But yeah, those are like the big free things that we do. Do you have any others?
Well, I'm still going to be working for the entire summer break.
Right.
Not every day, because but I'll be working shifts.
Yeah.
Lindsay's off.
Yeah.
We have
Same as me.
we have two trips planned one for Lindsay's 40th. One is a very, very early 40th celebration for me. So looking forward to those. But the free stuff will do. It's mainly just kind of chuck them outside. Go, you've got friends there all off school.
Mm-hmm.
We might pop down to my mum and dad's where like more of Logan's friends from his school are. Um, but I'm going to try my best this year to kind of teach them how to make things and do things and repair things
Okay. Yeah.
because I there's a lot of times where like Logan will break something, he'll come to me like, "Can you fix this?" And I'm like, "Well, you can fix that. I can show you how to." No, no, it'll take too long. I just want you to do it. So which I get, fully understand. Um, but no, I'm going to try and get them doing more
Okay. Yeah,
things,
that's cool.
making stuff. Just little simple things. I've got so many different tools and scrap bits and pieces in the garage at the moment that
Mm-hmm.
we can be doing stuff like that. Um, there'll be walks. Um,
Yeah, we need to do more walks. That's not something we do a ton of, but we
yeah,
really,
but if you're doing the creek stomping, then that's like,
yeah, to some extent, yeah. But yeah, I just would, yeah, we have some parks around here that have nice trails that we could go to, and so do some more walking.
yeah, no, it's an excuse to we take Rex, so it's a really good excuse to get out and about, doing stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then for the most part, it's just trying to keep them from gravitating towards being inside on a screen,
Yeah,
which is fine on a morning when they first wake up and they're coming around eating breakfast and kind of we're figuring out what's the weather going to do for the day, where's the best to go.
yeah.
Well, and then after that, it's just a case of like looking for discount vouchers of stuff.
Mm.
A friend of mine from work shared that on Woucher, which is a website in the UK. I don't know if you guys have got Woucher.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like a coupon website where you get really good deals, and there's a theme park that's like an hour away from us, an hour and a half, called Flamingo Land,
Oh, fun.
and it's 50% off tickets. So
Nice.
I need to show Lindsay about that. Tell Lindsay about that tomorrow because that might be something that we pencil in and maybe do with like my sister-in-law and her kids and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just going to be little things like we'll go to the coast. We're only like an hour and a half away from the coast here, so like we'll probably go to the coast for a couple of times, different ones. Which then the traditional thing when you're at the coast in the UK is well, then go and have fish and chips by the beach
Mm.
and try not to get attacked by seagulls as they nick
Mm-hmm.
our chippies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Um. Yeah. So we have it's called Groupon.
Groupon, yeah,
Group.
we've got Groupon as well,
You
but
do? Yeah. That
yeah,
sounds like what you're talking about. That's the closest thing that I can relate that to that we have. So, and you can get good deals for all kinds of stuff. In fact, the Sam's Club membership I got was a Groupon coupon that I was like made it super cheap. Um.
Groupon.
So, those are like the free things that I can think of. Which, by the way, I knew there was a thing. Sorry, I was pausing, so I was trying to remember what I wanted to ask you. Do you give them a limit per day of screen time in the summer?
Um, no, mainly because if I'm at work and there's just Lindsay, when there's three of them, and the age gap that's between them is sometimes very difficult to get them to all want to do something that they all want to do together. And then plus the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only their summer break, but it's Lindsay's summer break as well, because she works every
Fair.
day that they're at school. She's at work. So,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't take any holiday time in between. So this is like her major break. So no, we won't limit them, but we're very cautious of saying, look, you've been on that now for like half an hour. It's really nice out. Go and call, go knock for your friend, or we'll say to Emily, go on your bike. Jay is a bit different because she's an adult, so she's by the time they get into the summer holiday, she's going to be 20. So,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll be working too. So it's her time.
Yeah.
Do as you please, but
Well, yeah. When you're
equally,
20, I mean,
yeah.
that's a different story. When you're
I mean, I could the positive to that is like if Lindsay wants a day chilled out in the garden, and Emily's out doing things with her friends, and Logan's playing out with his friend, I can be like me and Jay are gonna go and like have a few beers in the beer garden.
Mhm.
Because Lindsay doesn't drink anymore, the medication that she takes.
Sure.
So, like, I can take Jaya out. And we can like spend some one-to-one time with Jaya for once,
Yeah.
rather than
I
her
did hear
beeping.
the like jingle. It was like a little jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, faintly, just very, very faintly. I wouldn't have noticed it if you wouldn't have like done a thing too. Um, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so we do an hour a day during the school year, which they don't usually get to an hour. And then during weekends they get an hour and a half. And so we stick to the summer being an hour and a half. They basically get an hour and a half a day
Yeah.
that they can be on screens. Unless it's really cruddy outside, and then we might increase that so that they can do whatever. So, but that's kind of like our main our main thing. Anyway, sorry. So that's that. We also have the kids. They have to sign up for something. That's kind of our thing with them. We also make them do summer books, which my kids are not a big fan of, and have like asked their friends, and they're like, their parents don't make them do it, Dad. And I was like, well, sorry. I was like, you know what? You need to be doing a little bit of work no matter what. So basically, it's just like a page or two a day, and you have to do that in the morning before they can do anything else. And it's just a refresher course. It's not usually too difficult, and it's just all about like the math that they've learned in the previous year and making sure that they kind of keep their brain working. So we make them do that, and then they can be on screens if they want for like an hour and a half, and then we make them pick a sport of some type. Of course, Ariel's has been soccer. This year, I don't know if I told you this, Sean. This year, it's gotten a little crazier because she was invited to a travel club in Kalamazoo, which means now we're traveling for practices. So now I don't know. I don't know. I was like not against it, but not 100% for it, and I just left it kind of up into Ariel's hands. And Becca was all for it, which really blows my mind. Like that mom has come so far. 4-ish years ago, when we signed Ariel up for CISO, which is just like a really laissez-faire summer soccer program, like, chase the ball soccer, whatever. You got one practice during the week, one game on the weekend on Saturday, blah blah blah. If you can't make it, nobody cares. Like that kind of a league, right? And she was like, "Oh, this is gonna take up so much time. I can't believe we're doing this." Blah 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 blah. And then, like, all of a sudden, we get this. I'm telling Beck, I'm like, "Well, Ariel will just sign up for CISO, and we'll just do that." And she's like, "Well, actually, her coach said that he was wondering if she'd want to be part of this league." And I was like, "What is it?" And she was like, "Well, it's 2 practices in Kalamazoo, and then a game regionally once a week." And I was like, "Becca, that is so much time." And she's like, "I think it'd be fun." And I was like, my mind was just like, I was like, "Are you crazy? Like, are you on something?" But anyways, so we don't particularly want them to sign or like ask them to sign up for something that rigorous, but Ariel's all in. So while she's all in, we'll be all in. And Noah and I are doing a bowling because we really wanted to keep him since he's kind of lasered in on this sport. He really didn't bowl at all last summer. So Noah and I are doing a bowling league starting. Actually, it starts really good. It starts June 19th. Although I have to find a filler for like at least 2 weeks while I'm out with surgery. But
Oh yeah, you've got that in the summer, haven't you?
yeah, I do. In July. So right after I've just figured, Sean, it's July 6th. So my plan is to eat like 75 burgers on July 4th and just like celebrate it all up. And then if I'm really lucky, I'll just slide right in the ER on the 6th. I'll be like, don't worry, I already got an appointment. It's fine.
Yeah, just use the ambulance as a taxi to get to the
That's
hospital.
right. It's all good, but you'd be like, "What's wrong with me?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a gallbladder." There's like 17 hot dogs and like 6 hamburgers in me right now. It's like I know exactly what's going on. No worry, don't worry about it.
If you want to take those out as well at the same
Yeah.
time, that'd be really good.
I think I've probably created 17 new gallstones on the July 4th. So just do your thing and we'll be fine. No.
Would you like some gallbladder with your gallstones?
um, so yeah. Uh, no, so that's on July 6th, I think. Anyways, the other things we like to do that cost a little bit of money but not a ton of money, is we'll go to the arcade, but it's more than arcade. It's got like mini putt. It's like I can't think of the name of it, but anyways, doesn't matter because you're not around here anyway. So it's just like the mini arcade, and it's gonna cost you like $50 all in between the two kids to have like a conservative. What do you want to say? Like a conservative hour or so of time, right? But usually in that you can get like a round of go-kart or something like that. So because they have a go-kart track and a mini putt track and some arcadey stuff, and so probably nowadays it'd be probably more like $80 to be honest. So all in with everybody. So but that's kind of like an expensive let's spend a little bit of money. We also like to drive. Do you guys have drive-ins down there? Over there?
Not cinemas, no.
No. So we don't have a lot of them anymore, but we are blessed to have one just like half an hour away. And so we like to go to the drive-in at least once a year. Although I don't think we got there last year. If we did, I didn't go. So I can't remember. But anyways. So we'll do drive-ins at least once or twice a year, or not at all like last summer. And yeah, I think that's, those are like the main like medium level things that we do. I asked chat just now like for some ideas. One thing that might fit really well with my family would probably like bring joy to my wife's heart is the thrift store challenge. Give each kid $5 to $10 and see who can find the funniest, coolest, or weirdest item.
Cool.
That could be a fun challenge. I don't know. I could actually get down on that. So, I might try that. And then yet even a bit bigger, but actually almost just as cheap, zoos. Taking the kids to the zoo. So
See, over here, taking the kids to the zoo is an expensive adventure. Like, we're talking if I was to take, if me and Lindsay, Logan, Emily, and Jay were to go, I'd say we're close to 100.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing, though, for at least over here, yes, you're not wrong. It'd be like $130 for us all to go to the zoo. But a lot of times, at least like the Toledo Zoo, which is like an hour and a half away from us, for that $130, for like $145, you can get a summer pass, which allows you free access. Yeah. All you want. So yes, you're right. The one-time fee is there of like, okay, family summer pass, $145. But like remember when we went to the drone show and we had the tubes and we were like sliding down the thing and I told you we were going to go to like the light show in the zoo last year. Yeah. That was all free. Like all we paid for was drinks and I think we paid for tickets to do the tube ride. But other than that, like to get in and see the drone show and walk through the lights, that was all part of our family pass with the zoo. So, and then over here you get the other zoos 50% off. So if you get into like this I don't know, this zoo network. I don't know what you want to call it.
Zoo Network.
It's a zoo network. And so, like, if you go to another zoo and you show them the pass, most of them participate and you'll get a 50% discount. So,
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah, we have there's the Deep in Hull near us. That's like an hour away. They do the annual passes where you can return. I think you can only return once again in that year.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it is as many times as you'd like in 12 months.
Yeah, that's what
I
this
can't
is.
remember.
That's what
Yeah.
this is. Like, all you want in 12 months. So,
Oh. But no, that's the kind of thing we will do. I mean, the Deep, you can run around it in half an hour. Logan will be more interested in the gift shop, which becomes the expensive part.
yeah.
Um,
Every
and I mean,
zoo sends you through the gift shop.
well, that's the exit via the gift shop. That's the
Uh-huh.
There was a film, wasn't there, about Banks of the Artist? It was called Exit via the Gift Shop. Anyway, um, yeah, we don't have many like zoos. We have the Yorkshire Wildlife Park, which is pretty big. It does have an array of animals: polar bears, meerkats, jaguars, tigers, monkeys. There's a lemur enclosure where you can walk through it, and they're just running around
Well,
around
that's
you, kind of
fun.
thing. Yeah. So, but like if we want that's the closest one to us if you want to go just see just animals, and they do offer the year pass kind of deal,
Mm-hmm.
which would probably be something that we look at. Um, well, my favorite zoo is Chester Zoo, and that's like a 2.5 hour drive away. But
Mm.
they have this huge bat enclosure that you walk through, and the bats are flying all around you. Very, very strange and surreal kind of
That is crazy.
feeling.
Sounds like fun, though.
It is because they never fly into you because they're more
Yeah.
scared of hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and they have their little sonar stuff. Um, yeah, those are like our, I guess, our go-tos. I mean, of course we're going to Universal, but we're gonna go to Universal for 10 days, and it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll have a great time and make a ton of memories. And I will keep sending Sean pictures to make him jealous. And but then when that's
have
done, it's only gonna take like Sean. It will only take like 3 days, and they'll be like, we don't do anything in the summer. I'm so bored. How are you gonna do
yeah,
it? And I'm gonna want to like string them up, just like one at a time.
and and that's one of the pains in it is because they get out of their routine. They so quickly kind of just go, well, this is like boring.
Mm-hmm.
A week in, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
so. But
Yeah.
before we carry on with that, have you got the little wristbands for Universal?
We were just offered. I didn't think you could buy them early, but actually I just got an email that said you could. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think I might be purchasing. No, I will be purchasing wristbands for me and the kids. I don't think Becca wants one, so we got the kids the wands so they can do their thing. That was a Christmas present from their nana. But yeah, I need to go out and look at the Mario wristbands and
I
take
I
a look at
have
those.
been told by a friend that's just come back from there that eBay is a really good shout for them because you can get
Oh,
them like already preloaded with everything completed, and you can get the maximum kind of benefit from them.
okay. Yeah, I'll
And they're
have
usually
to.
and they're usually cheap, cheaper than buying them direct from Universal.
See, I didn't even know there's like a benefit. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a benefit. I mean, I knew that like you could use it to get into rides and you could like make things, you could interact with things with it, but like yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know there was a benefit.
I can't remember what he said exactly, but it's like you have to collect certain things and you'll get you get something. I can't remember exactly. I kind of disengaged because I was really jealous at it being, but at the same time, we're trying to be engaged because
Nah, nah, nah,
yeah.
nah. So,
So,
collect digital coins and oh, nope, it went away. Up, it was there for a second and now it's gone. Collect digital coins and Win keys in interactive activities at Super Nintendo World. Collect digital coins and digital stamps. Track your score. Check your rankings and more.
Oh.
Oh man, I got 8 different choices. Donkey Kong. I don't know. That Yoshi one's calling me.
I thought
Toad.
you'd have been all over Donkey Kong.
I mean, I do like Donkey Kong, but in general, I'm with Lindsay. I'm more of a Yoshi fan. Like I have nostalgia for Donkey Kong Countries because I played those all with my mother. But as characters go, like Yoshi like is where I land. Although the Donkey Kong one looks cool because it's got bananas and Donkey Kong and like little Donkey Kong figurines all over it. So I don't know. That'll be a tough choice.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think the kids go for? Mario and Peach, or Toad?
No, not Toad. I think it'll be for Noah, it'll be Luigi or Donkey Kong. For Ariel, she's gonna be bummed there's not a Rosalina because she like from the movie has fallen in love with Rosalina. She's like all about it. So
Yeah.
I think it will either be Peach or probably Peach out of all these options. So yeah, probably Peach out of all these options, I would say. I'll be interested. I'll be interested to know what they. I'll have to ask them. See what they say.
Yeah.
Let's see. So those are like that's our big thing. But that's
Well, we are staying in the UK this year. Next year we're going abroad. But mainly because with them being, and I say this often, with them having such a big age gap, especially when Logan was younger and we went to Spain. Can't remember which one, Mallorca. Because he was so young, he was like up at the butt crack of dawn and wanting to be in the pool all day, where Jaya was like at the age where she was just starting to have a bit of a nightlife or a taste for the nightlife. She was wanting to burn the candle at the other end, so it was really hard to find a balance. So,
okay, yeah.
so
I think you kind of have PTSD from that, Sean, because you mentioned it a lot. You're like, oh man, that trip.
Yeah. Well, we swore. We came back from that, and then me and Lindsay went up into the Lake District for a couple of days. And we were out on a walk, and we literally said to each other, like, we had more time to relax in the 3 days that we were in the lakes than the 2 weeks that we were in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's going to be. And the other side of that is that we're not forced to have to take Jay because again she's working and she can be at home and look after herself and do the kind of thing. But you know, who refuses a free holiday?
Yeah, you'd be silly too. That's what I would think.
Yeah, but no. So yeah, we've got one of the trips is with the kids. One of the trips is just me and Lindsay.
Good.
The kids are going to go and see some relatives for a couple of days. I believe that's the plan. While we're away, we're close to like the border of Wales and Scotland, so we've got quite a lot of things that are at our disposal. We're doing a few extra special things. There's the world's fastest zip line that we're going to go and do. Me and Lindsay have done it before, but
you've done it before. Okay.
Yeah, like 100 miles an hour.
Shut the front door. How do you stop?
Don't
say you hit the tree.
Springs and guys with sticks. I have a YouTube video. I will send you the YouTube video.
Please do. Springs and guys with sticks has got me completely peaked. I am 100% interested to watch somebody stop now.
Well, as you come in, like your carriage hits a spring-loaded stop, which slows you right down, and
you just like do circles when you hit it. You're just like.
No. And then there's a guy with a like you grab this hook that this guy has, and he kind of pulls you as well as the spring taking the tension, so you get like a double brake system.
Okay, nice.
But you're not holding on to anything. You kind of lay in this suspended sled,
Yeah,
so you
that makes
can't have your
sense.
arms flying out.
Yeah,
So we're gonna do that.
100 miles an hour. That'd be a bummer.
Yeah, there's mountain cats that we're gonna go and do, which is like downhill tricycles in like off-road tricycles, which is gonna be fun.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Trampolines inside some caverns. So
Trampolines inside cabins.
caverns, like caves.
Oh, caverns. Okay, I thought you said cabins.
Yeah.
I was like, interesting.
So we're gonna go do that. And then the place where we're staying has a outdoor sauna, hot tub, and a natural plunge pool. So I will be getting my heat therapy on.
Nice. Good for you.
Be nice.
That sounds great. That sounds a lot of fun. So good for you
Yeah.
guys.
And that's one of the positives we've been in the UK is that I think it's like 4 hours away from home. So if anything drastic does happen, we could shoot back pretty quick. We don't have to worry about being on a plane and the extra cost of like flights and stuff. So and we've made more memories doing like the free stuff, like walks and things like that in the UK, like walking waterfall trails and stuff like that in Scotland was great
Sure.
than spending money every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, yes. So the trails is something I really want to do with the kids more. I got my wife's
Yeah.
bike tuned up, so she said her bike was really rough, so I got that done this week. That's total random squirrel, but I mean, kind of, because I'd like to do more bike rides too, and trails. But we shall see. Let me see. Do I have anything else? Any other like tips or tricks or things that we do for fun that's kind of cheaper?
I've just been looking at you mentioned the go-kart. I remember the place where I usually go.
Yeah.
I need to measure how tall Logan is, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because he seems to be shooting up at the moment. But they'll allow an 8-year-old to drive a full petrol go-kart. So
Wow.
yeah, and his sister too. So I can take them off for a day and be like, right, us three are going to go and do some go-karting because I know Emily will enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. It's good. Make memories in the summer. Like, then they don't have to be crazy expensive memories. I guess that would be my thing.
Yeah.
Like memories come from a lot of different ways. And sometimes I'll talk to Ariel and Noah, and they'll be like, "Oh, Dad, that was so much fun when you did this thing. Remember when we did that thing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do, but I mean, I didn't think it was that much fun. But I mean, okay, like, okay, sure." So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting the
It is,
stuff that they find.
and sometimes it's nice to go outside the comfort zone. So when you're saying things like hikes and walks and stuff like that, if that's something that you don't normally do, and the kids usually moan and complain a little bit, like plan it so you can make regular stops and there's interesting things to see and do. That's what we've always done. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, when we took them on the Fairy Glen waterfall trail, it was a bit of a walk to get to them, but there was like once we're there was natural stone slides between the pools from the waterfall that you could use, and bits and pieces like that. And there was just interesting stuff to see, and while we were there, so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's cool. Fishing. That was another thing. I want to take the kids fishing more. We always go out like once or twice a year, but I'd really like to get them out more often than that. So
I have never been fishing. I went a lot with my dad as a kid, and I just used to climb the trees while he fished. So
let me tell you, Sean, I could regale you of tales fishing that are actually true. I went with my my grandma. I grew up with my grandmother and grandma and papa, as I call them, living on the river, and they had a boat. And when he went out fishing, Sean, you won. You fished. Okay, you didn't gripe about it. Like, you could say no, but if you said yes, then you got up at 6 in the morning, and you probably pulled back into the dock at like 4 at night, 4 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense.
Thing is, can you catch and eat, or are you catch and release?
Oh no. We would come home and then have to fillet like a good like
See,
30 fish.
in the UK, we're not allowed. We can only catch and release.
What?
Hmm.
In the whole of the UK?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, you got to have like 1,000 million fish that need to be fished out of all those lakes and ponds and rivers.
All protected. Not allowed to do it.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, trust me, I've been fishing bluegill for years, and they just keep coming back. So we have a fertile lot of bluegill, apparently. So they don't. Yeah, that is very interesting to me. You cannot. Nobody like what? So how do you eat fish? Like, what do you like? You have like fish hatcheries? Is that how you do that?
We have fishermen that'll fish off the coast and then bring it all in, do it that way.
Okay, so you can like commercially fish. You just can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. Because I mean, I know, like there's a big thing around here, at least right now, where it's like if you're gonna eat some type of fish, I can't remember what type, but I've heard that it's better that they are actually like growing in fish hatcheries. I don't know what they're called, because like the ones at sea
Fisheries
are polluted, basically. Thanks to how awesome we are as humans.
Yeah, so it's kind of the opposite here. We like fresh, like sea fish is what we eat. When you go to the seaside in the UK, if you are going to the fish and chip shop, you can guarantee that the fish that you were eating was like literally caught on the boat that's opposite the fish shop. So
see, that's good. Good for you guys. We just basically killed all of our habitat. But good for you for not doing that, dang Americans. No, I mean that's not the case for all of them, but I do know there. I've heard some things, and I don't even know how legit they are, but I've read some things about that. We still would eat fish from the river for sure. I don't know if it's gonna kill me, but I hear it calls gallstones, but I don't know if that's true. Just kidding.
But no, yeah, fishing would be good. I don't have the patience for it myself, and I can 100% guarantee that Logan would be no good. He'd just be throwing stones in the river constantly, so there'd be no fish because they'd all swam away.
You just got to make sure you got to give him a quick catch right away. Like throw in. I mean, it doesn't even have to be big. Like these kids don't care if they have like a keeper size bass. They just want to catch something. So, like if you are going fishing, for anybody who's listening, just use a small hook with a small worm and throw it into a slightly shaded area. And I'm no fisher. Like I don't fish all that often, but throw it into a slightly shaded area, and you will likely catch some dinky little fish that's 3 inches, big. Which and Sean, that we do throw back, by the way. We don't keep like every fish we catch.
So you ain't going to feed much with a
yeah,
tiny
exactly.
little.
I don't want to have to clean that thing. It's going to be nothing left. And you catch it, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I caught this little fish!" And then they're like hooked. No pun intended. I mean, maybe a little, but it was all accidentally intended. And then they're like hooked on it, and they're like, "Okay, cool. I'm going to get another one, another one." So that's how I do it, and it seems to like they'll catch like I don't know between the two of them like 3 or 4 fish each, and it's like okay, cool.
Yeah. Thing is, if we're fishing like the local rivers around here, we're not catching bass. We're like catching trout, pike, and carp.
Holy crud! Those are huge fish. Don't you have any teeny ones like bluegill or, sunfish or? No.
You have to remember this is England. It's all just muddy rivers and stuff.
Yeah, we get. I mean, actually, they are often not even catching bluegill. They're usually catching what we call as like rock bass. These little like I don't know. Yeah, they're like 4 or 5 inch things. So, but their mouths are bigger, so they can get around the hook more. So that helps. But yeah, and they're happy, and they catch those, and then we throw them back, and they do it again and again and again. So yeah, and so I guess I say when I fished with my grandfather, we certainly kept like a whole ton of fish. But like with the kids, I haven't taught them how to clean or fillet or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we're
That's a
just
different
catching
thing
and
to
throwing. So
do, is that because that requires you to have a bit of a decent stomach and be able to use
yeah,
a sharp knife.
yep.
So
Although I learned to fillet real close to Noah's age, maybe like 13, 14. But I was real
yeah.
close to Noah's age when I learned to fillet. So
Now I want to get to the end of the summer holidays. I want to be able to get to the point where like if the chain came off Logan's bike, he could put it on himself, or if he
yeah,
had a
there you go.
puncture, he could
Mm-hmm.
repair it himself. Um, and I might try and teach Emily, like, if for whatever reason she ever needs to rewire a plug or anything like that, that she
Mm-hmm.
knows what she's doing, and even having a vague idea would be great. And
John, you
yeah,
need to
Rex
stop moving your hand. Rex has now gone crazy.
is the shadow people. Look to the left, look to the right. Gotcha. But no, it's just little skills like that. Like,
What?
just it. I know. But yeah, it's just little skills like that. Think like I can do that in the garage. We can go and like we can sit in the garage. I'll have an old plug somewhere that I'm not bothered about if I cut the end off, and we'll be like, right,
Mm-hmm.
here's this bit of cable. We're gonna strip it back a little bit. Just basic skills that one he might get interested in doing it, and he thinks, oh, if I can fix a plug, I can fix my bike, I can fix this, I can, and that's how I started. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
used
Yeah.
holding the torch for my dad while he was in the engine bay of his old like Land Rover or something like that, and getting shouted at constantly for not holding it right. But
In the
at the
UK,
same
a torch
time,
is a flashlight, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just
What
wanted
do you class as a torch? One of them things that, like a stick that's on fire.
to. A stick that's on fire. Yeah, I guess so. Like a blow torch for us is like yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but that would be like a flashlight. So I just wanted to make that clarification for our listeners that Sean's dad did not have him hanging on to a torch that somebody might be thinking of, like welding something in a car. So
No.
Sean's like, nah, I was at least 10 before I did that. Don't worry.
Hey, me and my brother used to play in the coal bunker in the garden, so
What's a
I
coal?
mean, you don't even a
Son of
coal bunker. How
Sean,
like
we're
what
at
did you?
46 minutes. We probably don't
All
want to go down whatever rabbit hole we're about to go down.
right. So very 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 quickly. We used to have coal fires in our houses.
When you were a kid?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
I mean, yes, it's true. We obviously did too, but not when I was a kid and I'm older than you. Like we were. Huh. Is that how you
Yep.
mainly heated your house, with coal?
Yeah, it was a fire that the
Huh.
fire would warm the back boiler, which would then warm the hot water tank.
Huh.
We'd have an immersion heater on the water tank just in case we didn't have any coal and we couldn't get it going. But yeah, that was the way it was done. But my dad was a miner when I was young, so he was a coal miner. So we used, and part of the parcel of being a coal miner is you got free coal deliveries. So we had like a stone, like a concrete bunker in the back garden that once a week, a guy used to come in a big flatbed trailer and dump 2 bags of coal, and it was like our job to wheelbarrow it into the garden and then put it in the coal bunker. But when the coal bunker was almost empty, there was like a slat that you could climb in at the bottom. And me and my brother used to go in there, and it was our den until the coal delivery came. So,
I absolutely love this story. This is fantastic on multiple levels. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming maybe some people have that. I don't know. I mean, we have wood. We still have wood fire like heating here, but like the coal thing, just yeah, I haven't heard of that ever.
like it wasn't. It was pep coke was the name of it. It was different. It was a smokeless coal that
Okay.
you could use in
Mm-hmm.
houses, but it was still coal. It was still
Mm-hmm.
mined. Well, the coal we burned was mined 6 miles northeast from here. where my dad worked. So
Yeah, I've heard of coke before. Like
Hmm.
but yeah, like when talking about coal, but I don't remember entirely what it is. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we're way off of summer. Go mine coal with your kids this summer is what we're saying. That's great.
This is
Brought that
real
back up.
life Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly.
No, go like Nick said. It's you don't have to spend the earth to make great memories and have a good time. You just have to do a bit of research. I mean, use Chat GPT, put in your location, but
Yeah.
like, hey, what can I do that's cheap, free, and the kids will enjoy? Put the kids' ages. That thing is great for helping do stuff. So do that. Go find some cool stuff to do. Spend some time outside. Get some sunshine. But just remember to wear sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
protect that skin. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some sleep because I'm
You
up
do
at
it. It's 12:17 where you are.
It is. I'm up in 4 hours to take Jay to
Holy
work.
crud, go to bed.
I'm gonna try. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. We hope you guys have a great summer break when it comes. I can't wait for mine. I'm actually more excited now we've done this episode than I was prior to it, because usually I end up like all out of sauce because I like my peace and quiet. But yeah. Anyway, have a great weekend, and we shall talk to you soon.
See you later, dads.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott. You can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over, because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.